Good afternoon, my name is Rachel Miller, and I am here today to talk to you about the country of Eswatini. This here was actually a picture that my sister took up while she visited the country, and this is a few of the children that she met and their home. Can anyone take a guess how many countries there are in Africa? Jeremy?
42.
There are 55, and today I'm here to tell you about one of the smallest. So the nation of Eswatini is number one in the world for highest prevalence rate in HIV/AIDS, labeling it as an epidemic. So throughout this PowerPoint, I'll show you like pictures like these where my sister actually experienced this firsthand, and this was her traveling experiences. Eswatini is a nation with strong cultures and very interesting controversial customs. To gain some further insight on the country and what goes on in Eswatini, we're going to take a further look into some things that stand out about this country. This is actually the found on CIA's website where it lists the highest rates of HIV/AIDS in the world, and as you can see, Eswatini is up here in the top. They did used to be called Swaziland, and they have recently changed the name to Eswatini. They are number one in the world. Like I just said, they did recently just change their name from Swaziland to Eswatini. And I actually wasn't even aware of this until I started the project because that's how recent that it happened. The king wanted to change the name to get rid of their past culture and everything that went along with it because they used to be ruled by British administration. And they gained their independence in 1968 from them. And the name of Swaziland was kind of mashed in between the Swazi language and the English language, which was why they wanted to completely get rid of that name because they're no longer under the British administration. And their new name, Eswatini, it means land of the Swazi and Swaziland language. So here I have a picture of exactly how small Eswatini is compared to the whole continent of Africa. And you can see how far down it is in the south. Now onto the government. This is the current king. He actually rules with his mom. So it's the only one of the only remaining diarchies in the world and one of the last remaining absolute monarchies in the continent of Africa. So it's ruled by a king and his mother queen. She's called Mother Queen because she was just called Queen, then everyone thinks they're married, but it's actually his mom. And there can be a substitute if his mom were to die or something like that, but it would have to be a relative that is a woman. They're the only absolute diarchy in the world where they hold complete power and say over their people, which causes some problems. They do have one member that represents them in parliament still, and the former king before this guy and his mom actually reigned for over 82 years, which is one of the longest recording reigns of a king or a queen throughout history. And this is actually because the king was elected and became king when he was 4 months old. So their leader was 4 months old when he started ruling because the previous king, his father, had died. And he was expected to have over 200 children and ranging from about 75 to 125 wives, just to show a little bit about the culture and how different their world is from ours. Now into more pressing matter. This actually is a picture of my sister's friend and a baby that they found. This baby was found one of the first few days that they had come into the country, which was back then. This was taken in 2012, so then it was Swaziland. Whenever they first came into Swaziland, the little rural area that they were in, this baby was found under a tree, had the same diaper on for at least, they suspected, about a week and a half. And when they went into the town and asked whose child it was, no one claimed it. This is a very common occurrence there, unfortunately. Like I said, they do have the highest rate in HIV/AIDS in the world, which is the biggest issue. The country's population is about 1.4 million, and 40% of that is under the age of 15. Because of that, it has one of the lowest life expectancies in the world, around 55, and about 50 to 55, and that's due to HIV. About a quarter of the entire adult population is diagnosed with HIV. And then about 1 out of every 6 children is orphaned due to both of their parents dying. This is what most likely happened to this child. They were unable to figure out what exactly happened because, like I said, nobody claimed it. And my sister did travel to this country several summers in a row, and this was a common occurrence of finding children and no one wanting to claim them because people were already taking care of like 15, 20 of their own children, and then whenever they'd have more, they would just dump them out, let them be. And like we know, in Africa, there's a lot of lions and just kidding. Yeah, but there's a lot of lions and wildlife and stuff like that that go after them. This results in a huge shortage of adult labor since the life expectancy is about 50. So this is why the country is in a lot of poverty. Also, this is because the king, the ruling system, he has all complete power over all of them. It does not give them much access or resource to a lot of things. But fun fact is that every single citizen, once you reach a certain age, does get a cell phone provided from the king. That's about the only thing he gives them. This is another picture that my sister took while she was there. This is a little village that they traveled to, and that just shows what the soil's like, the trees, the houses, that kind of thing, and how close everyone is to each other. It is a very small country, and they're still very strong in their traditions and values, which contributes to its underdevelopment. Like I said, a lot of men there will have at least 10 to 20 wives, which also contributes to all the children and the adult labor shortage and the poverty. This is another picture that my sister took. These are a couple of the kids that she took care of while she was there that summer, and she actually helped build a school for them. An important thing to remember, though, is that all countries differ in the way that they're run, but that does not mean that some are lesser or more than others. And does anyone have any questions? Yeah, great question. So she was asking about my sister's travel experiences and stuff like that when she went there. There are actually 2 airports in the Eswatini. So it is actually pretty easy to get to. It's just they're not very common occurrence of flights going in and out of there. She did go a couple summers in a row. She would stay at least a month at a time, and as she was there, so she has a degree in childhood development and teaching and stuff like that. So she was going there. They're helping provide education about the HIV/AIDS situation, like treatment, stuff like that, and then also she was helping build a school for all of those little children to go to.
Good job. Good job. Thank you. So interesting. All right. Okay, now the 2 of you get to fight over it. I'm going to do one more.